Morning to all. I, Professor Pawar Priyu from Sri Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj College of Engineering, Nepti, Ahmednagar. Welcome to online lecture series on problem solving and programming for first year engineering students. So the first point of our is function in Python. A function is a piece of code written to carry out a specific task. Means what? Whenever we have to execute any kind of program, then we can use the functions for creating that execution of a program. For example, we have to take one example. In day-to-day life, a human being depends on many people to complete his task. For example, when a person wants to arrange a function at home, lots of work must be doing for that functions. For example, decorating the home, arranging the refreshment, inviting the guest. He hires some people and divide tasks between them. The higher people know their work, that is the people kind of decorating the house done his task properly. The person hired for refreshment arrangement done his work in proper way. Means that no need to tell them how to do their task. With the help of these people, the function performs successfully. Similarly, in Python programming language, provide a term called as a function which is act as a hired people. The function helps to simplify the complexity of a program by splitting it into another smaller parts. Means what? Function can divide the complex problem into sub programs and called when needed. Next point is the types of functions. So basically there are three types of function. First one is a built-in function, second one is a user-defined function, third one is an anonymous function or lambda function. First, built-in function, these are the predefined function in Python. Means what? Whenever the language is developed, at that time some functions are reserved at the time of developing. These functions are called as a built-in functions. For example, minimum function, maximum function, print function or input function. These are the example of built-in functions. Second type is user-defined functions. User-defined functions are nothing but these functions are created by user. Whatever the functions are required at the time of developing, the user has be created that function is called as a user defined functions. Third one is a anonymous functions, lambda functions created without def keyword. Whenever we have to create a function, then we can use the def keyword while the creating of function name. At that time we cannot use the def function. It is called as a lambda function or anonymous functions. So in Python, all functions are treated as an object, so it is more flexible compared to other high level language. That's why we have to create a functions. Second point is need or importance of user defined function. So here we can explain the user defined functions are reusable code blocks. Means what? Whenever we have to declare one time functions, and we can use that functions again and again by using functions call. That's why it will be written once and used the multiple times. Functions are very useful writing common utilities to specific business logic. Third, these functions can also be modified as per requirement. Means what? User can modify or change that functions as per his requirements. The code is usually well organized, easy to maintain and developer friendly, which means it can support the modular design approach. Means what? We can use the modularity concept to define a function. We can divide the large number of program into the smaller subparts. It is called as a modularity design approach. As user defined function can be written independently, the task of a project can be distributed for rapid application development. When we have to divide a large program into the sub programs or smaller parts of programs, then all smaller parts are programs executed independently. They does not depend on any other. They can execute separately. A well-defined and thoughtfully written user-defined function can ease the application development process. Next point is how to define a function, user-defined function. There are 4 steps to defining a function in Python. First one, declare the function with keyword def followed by function name. Second, write the parameter inside the opening and closing parentheses of the function and end the declaration with a colon. Third step, add the program statement to be executed. Fourth step, end the function with without return statement. Means what? Whenever we have to create a function, at that time we can define a def keyword for declaring the function. After that we can give the function name and we can pass the parameter whatever we required, and at the end of creating this function we can give the semicolon. Here we can provide the syntax to create user defined function. Def function name in bracket parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, or at the end of this creation we can assign semicolon, or in that function we can give the some program statement 1, 2, 3, whatever we want. After that, at the last we can give the return expression. Here syntax to call execute user defined function. Whenever we have to create a function, after that we have to call that function. Without calling function we cannot execute our function. Okay, function is called using function name and specifying number of argument in parentheses. Here we have to provide the syntax for calling the function name in bracket argument 1, argument 2. Calling user defined function. To call a function, use the function name followed by parentheses and arguments. Def my function opening and closing brace colon, print hello from a function. Here we have to create a function which is named as a my function. We can assign a def keyword at the beginning of that function. After that we have to call that particular function. By using function name we have to call that function. Here we cannot use the parameter passed to that particular function. That's why you cannot assign a parameters in that opening and closing brace. The output of that function is hello from a function. We just pass the message. Next, return statement. The return statement exit a function. By using return statement we can control flow our program is exit. Return statement passing back an expression to the caller. The return statement with no argument is same as return. Whenever we have to not provide the return statement, by defaultly Python program can provide a return statement. Return statement is nothing but the printing the result of that particular code. Function can return multiple value using return statement. Multiple value from function return as a tuple. So these multiple value are assigned to multiple variable based on sequence. By using return statement we can provide a multiple values which are provided in the executing our program statements. Here we have to provide one function example, that is function to add two numbers. Here we have to define a function def add is nothing but your function name and passing the parameter that is a comma b. At the end of creating a function we can provide a semicolon, that is function definition. We have to provide one program statement, that is c is equals to a plus b. After that return c, return value of c. Whatever the result is stored in c variable, it will be written by using return statement. In above example, def is a keyword, a and b are the parameters, c is equals to a plus b is the statement or expression executed by function. Return statement used to return the value of c. We can call above function as follow. Sum is a one kind of variable which is used to calling that function. Sum is equals to add in bracket provide 10 20. Basically a is equals to 10 and b is equals to 20. By using this syntax we can call the functions, and after that we have to print the summation of that particular addition. Now the output of that addition is 30.